Jodie. Oh, there's my intro. Okay, now we'll get back. So we have the Jodie show tonight. This is going to be kind of fun, Jodie and Jodie, and we'll just see how it goes. And I've got some computer issues right now, which is frustrating me. But you just go with
probably me, Jode.
Yeah, it probably is you and all that energy. So welcome, Jodie Harvala.
Thanks for having me.
Well, I know, and this is way overdue. We should have done this a long time ago, and we should do it regularly because I haven't seen you since you have your white hair.
I know, isn't it fun? Embracing my gray and my silver and my platinum side.
That's not natural.
My gray, it is not like this.
That's it.
Jodie, I have a little enhancements for the longer parts, but all this.
Oh, it's pretty.
That was my gift from COVID is easier hair to keep up. Because I've had every color. Those that don't know me, I've had every color under the sun. And Christy was like, that's it. We're done. You're horrible. You're embracing the gray. And I've never cried about my hair ever. And I was like, I think I might cry about this. And she's like, oh my God, are you kidding me? And I was like, no, I think I might. And then my son had seen your pictures and I saw one of the pictures. I was like, oh no, I like it. Looks good in pictures. I'm good. Yeah. I'm good. So
it's really pretty. And yeah, like Jodie said, for those of you who don't know, she's had purple hair and green hair and rainbow hair and mermaid hair and every color, pink.
Green is my favorite, honestly.
That's so funny. And your younger son has kind of embraced that rainbow hair kind of thing, hasn't he?
This year he's a freshman and he decided so far not to color his hair.
Okay.
And I thought, maybe that's a high school thing. And I mean, they're kind of sort of in school right now. So I was like, well, maybe when you go back full time, you might see something that inspires you. So I always leave it open. It's just hair. I don't care.
I know. I love that. I love that about you. So Jodie and I have known each other for, golly, man.
Long time.
Yeah. We go way, way back. And I met you. I don't really remember how I met you. I just remember the red couch at Babs. But
I remember.
Okay, tell me.
So I kept hearing your name, and I know you had kept hearing my name, and you had started that group, and we were up at NDSU at the thing up on University, and I heard someone say your name, and I'm like, are you Jodie Bach? And you're like, are you Jodie Harvala? And I was like, yes, we're supposed to talk. Like, we are supposed to talk. And we started talking that night. And then I think shortly after is when we hit the red couch at Babs.
Yeah. So the red couch at Babs, for those of you who might not know, we met for coffee, and they had this. Babs used to be located in a different location than they are now, but they used to have this big red couch, and we sat there and drank coffee, and you cried, and we had some
about my laundry. I'm sure
it was about your laundry. It totally was about your laundry, and there were things that Jodie hasn't really. Can I say you hadn't embraced your gifts yet, Jodie?
100%. Yes.
And there were things like you kept going, like
was a piece of that.
Yeah, it was. You were pissed off all the time about your laundry, and you cried about your laundry, and you were pregnant. No, it was even before you were pregnant. Yeah.
But I was doing this.
Yeah.
Doing this, and you were like, "What's this?" And I'm like, I don't know. I've told that story so many times, but it was like my body telling me, like. No, this is not okay. Who you're working for? Because I was working with crazy people.
Yeah. Oh, so we just met. I was a coach. I still am a coach, and I think we just kind of had a coach.
Started.
Yeah. It was you
were using me as practice, actually.
Yep.
If I remember correctly. Thank God you did that.
Well, I hope it was helpful.
I've had a coach ever since. So yes, it has been. Yeah. I think everyone should have a coach.
I do too. And we can talk about that as we go. But we've got some people just dropping in to say hi here. So we've got Julie, a friend of mine, is saying hi. We've got Miranda from Texas. Hi, ladies. Love it. It's very cute, she says. And then we've got somebody that didn't put their name in StreamYard, who I can't tell who it is. So somebody's here. But it shows up on my screen as Facebook user. So whoever you are, go put your name in StreamYard, or I'll find you. That's why I'm looking over here at my left screen, because I've got another screen here.
We can't tell on StreamYard. I love StreamYard, but even in Facebook now, if you unless they say hi, you can't tell who they are.
Yeah. So somebody, hi, glad you're here. So Jodie learned somewhere, I don't know, you'll have to tell your story, but that you have some sort of gift in I don't know, otherworldly shit, Jodie. I don't know.
Weird. I talk to dead people. I can read energy. I can do intuition work. That's your fault too, by the way.
It is.
Yes.
Well, tell me about that.
I was, you probably don't even know the full of this story.
You'll have to tell me. Okay, fill me in.
Okay, so for those that don't know me, I'm a psychic medium, and I did not grow up knowing that that was something that I was doing, and I was at a time in my life that I had outgrown my friends, or they had outgrown me. I had new babies.
How was it? You outgrown them, or they'd outgrown you? How was it?
I think both. When I said that, I was like, nah, I think it was a little bit of both. Like all my friends had little girls, and I had boys. And I remember when I was pregnant, and I thought, oh, I'm having a boy, and I could actually feel my friends' disappointment. And I was like, oh no, like they're not going to be like, this isn't going to work. And I thought it was so dumb at the time, but looking back, I'm like, oh, I totally knew what was going to happen. And so I was looking for new things in my life. And I remember I was out for a walk. I was like, oh God, I need a new circle of friends. And I think within a day, you're like, hey, I'm starting this book club on the Course of Miracles. And I was like, oh, okay. And so I went out and got, this is a part that you probably don't know, went out and got the book. And I looked at it at Barnes and Noble, and I was like, what the fuck is this? This is like cultish. Like, what is this? And I just put it on the table, and I thought, I'm just going to wait and see what Eli says. And so Eli read it, and I came home from work or whatever, and he's like, so I think you should do that group, but if they offer you any Kool-Aid, I think you should say no. And I started laughing. I'm like, I don't think that feels culty to me. Like, I don't think I should do that. And he's like, nope, I think you're supposed to go. I think you are. And he was like so sincere, which Eli's not. And he was like so sincere about it. And I was like, okay, I'll go. And I didn't miss one Tuesday night for the whole year. Not one. Like, I remember they used to tease me about it because I never missed. And that's where I met Darcy Simonson. She introduced me to Wes. Wes helped me learn that I was psychic. And you had actually introduced me before that. You introduced me to Susie Ekberg. And she had done a reading on me. And she's like, oh, you're going to do what I do in 10 years. And I'm like, oh, you're a crazy lady. No, I'm not. I'm not doing what you're doing. And here I am doing what she's doing. Yeah, all of that started from you.
Oh, well, that's awesome.
Isn't that awesome? Yeah, you're like the 1 degree right there.
That's awesome. So I don't know anything about, I shouldn't say that. I didn't at the time know anything about psychic mediumship. I knew Troy. So Troy Parkinson.
You knew Troy.
Was a good friend of mine. And he learned that he had this gift as well. But I would go to some of the workshops and some of the stuff, and I'd be like, yeah, whatever. They'd go, put your hand up, and do you feel that energy? And I'd say, no. I didn't, I don't know. I just didn't embrace my own
either.
But
it happens.
Well, right. But I know stuff, and I know people, and I know I'm really good at connecting people with things. And I just, I adore you, and I love what you've done. And I love looking back on what, Jodie, where you came from and where you are. You stepped into your power so beautifully. And
still am.
Yeah. And now you're doing workshops, and you go to Arizona, and you go all over the place. So I don't even really know where to start. So I'm just going to start by saying, hi, Andrea Wallace, who is a friend of mine from college, who lives in New York. She's here. And this is Andrea. Okay. And then this is Chelsea Jones.
Nice. Hi.
Okay. And this is Crystal Coaster Larson.
Oh, I love all these people showing up. Hello.
We are so excited to have all of us here. And you guys, if you have questions for Jodie as we go, or comments you want to leave, just put them in the chat and we'll go through that. So how does one decide one has psychic gifts, Jodie?
For me, and it is kind of a cool story for me, because I think this happens more often than not. And I don't think a lot of psychic mediums talk about it, because a lot of them kind of started in life, seeing stuff when they were kids and just knowing, and, they have all these stories from when they were little. I don't really have that. Like, I remember I was very sensitive. I remember my feelings got hurt. Really, I cried a lot. I remember I became really shy for a long, long time.
I
was so shy. I know people, it's the funniest thing, but like in high school, I had 2 girlfriends. Thank God that they knew people because I was so shy. I just ran into a woman today and she was getting her hair cut. And I was like, I used to work with you. Like, you were my manager at Hooters. And she's like, what? I don't remember you. I'm like, you wouldn't remember me. I was so shy. I said, but that's the job that taught me that I better start learning how to talk and be an expert, because if I didn't, I'd make no money and I wouldn't pay rent. Wow. And I was like 21 at the time. And I just ran into her. It was the funniest conversation. And so I really grew into being an extrovert first and foremost, because I'm really introverted, but I love this part too. So I'm an extroverted introvert is what I call it. And when I did your book club, the book never made sense to me back then. Like, it just didn't. I didn't get it. I didn't understand. Like, I remember I was like, what the fuck are we talking? Like, what is this? I just did not comprehend it. But the piece that pulled me back every single week was we would share our miracles at the end. Mm-hmm. No matter what, I was showing up because I wanted to learn about miracles because I needed some. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay, like, it doesn't have to be just once in a lifetime. Like, it can be daily. It can be this. And then I met Wes, and then I started to like learn that, like, oh, I kind of know how to do this. I didn't realize I knew how to do this. So I would tell people, if you even have an inkling of it, because I was always excited about it and I was always interested, like, find out more. Take class.
So stop just a second and talk about Wes, because tell people who that is. Wes Hamilton.
So Wes Hamilton is amazing. He is a numerologist, master numerologist. He is, I think he's 83, but he looks like he's 60.
He's not 83.
He is. I'm not kidding. He just turned, it might be 81, but I think it's 83. Wow. Right?
Oh,
meditation.
Man.
Another reason to meditate, ladies. Like, this dude does not, like, he could pass for 60 easily.
Oh, easily.
And he's not aged since I've known him, and I've known him for years.
I know, me too. Yeah. Well, wow. Okay, keep going.
Yep.
Wes.
He's a numerologist, and so he works with numbers. So he'll take your birth date, and he can buy your birth date and what it adds up to. There's like all sorts of stuff with the numerology. But the other piece is he teaches meditation. And it's called Light Body Meditation by Orrin and DeBen. And I started in that. And it's like it's not like meditation. It's like it goes in and it just rips out all the shit that you shouldn't hold on to anymore. It was like it's kind of like, what was that program we did in the cities? Landmark.
Oh yeah, I forgot you did Landmark.
It's similar to Landmark, but in a meditation style. Like I always said, like Landmark was like meditation on crack. And the meditation, it just made you face a lot of your old junk, like your stories. And like I used to be so angry and pissed off and I never knew why and all of this stuff. And once I got rid of all that junk, I was like, wow, I'm actually really sensitive, which I never wanted to be. I'm actually a feeler. I'm actually all these different things. But you don't know if you don't at least like try and put yourself and do some self-growth work. And it's scary, so don't do it by yourself. That would be the other thing I would tell people. I was afraid always. I was always in the space of fear. Always.
I remember at the beginning, and I remember you being pissed off a lot. And I think a lot of that is probably battling with your ego about who you're meant to be. Your spirit wants to come out, but your ego's scared, and your ego comes out as fear when it's.
Do you know Sarah that does the horses? Sarah Sherman? Okay, so her horse, Lance, is actually who taught me why I was so pissed off all the time. And it was the most cool experience because this horse, she goes, okay, well, this horse is going to be your spirit and you're going to be you. And what do you want to tell this horse? And I was like, oh my God, I'm so angry right now. And I just like let this horse have it. And he just stood there, and just was like doing his thing. And then all of a sudden he starts like moving himself and putting me in the side of spirit and then him in my human self. And my whole energy changed. And I was like, oh, I feel like it was the most eye-opening because it was just my head and my heart arguing in such conflict all the time because they weren't on the same page. So that conflict showed up in my outside world constantly. Right. And so once I got these two to start talking to each other, then my life started to kind of move and shake and go different directions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
that was one of the reasons I was so pissed off, because my head and my heart were in conflict.
so I'm betting some of us who are here can relate to this, you guys. By the way, we also have now, who is this? This is Jessica Brassart. Jessica from rugby. Do you know her?
I don't know if I know her. I don't think so.
So Jessica, hello. Chris Angel, who is my, he said I'll be there in a minute. He's my marketing coach, and he's created 1 million messengers. So Jodie,
cool.
You need to know Chris.
Yeah.
Oh, Chris. Okay, Chris. So jump in here. Chris.
Yeah.
Chris is a little bit. Chris, I'm going to throw this out there, and you can tell me if I'm right or wrong about this. You're a little bit new to this whole kind of spiritual dimension of psychic mediumship. So Chris is really interested in
this. Ask away. Ask lots of questions.
So Miranda wants to know, how did you get your head and heart in line?
Well, first, I had to be aware that my head and my heart were arguing, first of all, because I had no concept of that. So much of this, I wish I could explain how, I just couldn't understand any of this stuff. And my head wanted to be safe and wanted to be small. And my heart wanted to be big, expansive, growing. I wanted to be out in public. And that's that extrovert side of me. My human self is an introvert and doesn't like people. And so it doesn't. My friend Chris told me one time, she goes, "Oh, you don't like people, but your spirit loves them." And I was like, yeah, that explained me. So it was the most profound thing anyone ever said to me. I was like, that's so true, because my spirit does love people, and my human self is like, you guys can now I'll stay home. It's fine. Yeah. So first I had to ask my head what it wanted, and then I had to ask my heart what it wanted. And I actually do it. And when I teach it, if I have a mentoring client or something, I have one piece of paper, that's my head, one piece of paper, that's my heart. And then I give each one, I just free write. Okay, head, what do you want? All right, heart, what do you want? And then the middle piece of paper is to come together in some kind of agreement on how they can work together. Often your heart wants to lead and your head's a control freak. So you've got to make a deal with each other. I always say, let's just try it for a week. Let your heart lead for a week and then see if you feel better by the end of the week. So I think you actually have to talk to yourself and just ask your head, what do you want? I would say put it on paper, though, because if you just heard a conversation, you're just going to argue with yourself. Oh,
that's good. Yeah. So Julie is saying, and to follow up, when head and heart are in line, how do you funnel it to equal or align to your energy level?
Ooh, good question. I don't know that it's ever an equal thing. I think, a lot of people want balance, right? But if you're balanced, you're tipping one way or the other. So I'm actually looking for more of a harmony. There's some days I'm much more in my head because I'm figuring shit out and I'm doing creative stuff and I need to fix this and I got to schedule this and I have to have that side. But then if I'm in my spirit side, I'm much more, in that expansive and excited part, and I'm out in the world more and I'm creating more. And so I think it's about bringing it more into harmony, not like a balance or an equal thing. I don't think it's ever equal, because then you're just still. Yeah. And we're not meant to be still.
Yep. And that's a great analogy.
Energetically. Energy always moves.
So Miranda says, oh, wow, interesting, makes sense. So good, Miranda. I'm glad that makes sense for you. I'm looking. Oh, Jessica, Jodie and I have been speakers at the Souls of Spirit Expo.
Sure. Yes.
So that's how she knows you. So talk about how long this has taken you, Jodes. When, because I don't even remember when Keaton was born.
Yep. So Keaton was born and I was a hot mess.
She said that, I didn't, but
my God, when I was pregnant with my second son, I
was sick all the time.
24 hours a day. I got IVs every 3 days. I puked. I had panic attacks daily. I was scared to go to bed because I'd have to get up in the morning. Oh my God, it was so awful. And I would go and try to go to these events. They'd put food in front of me. I'm like, nope, gotta go. I'm out. And I'd be crying. Oh, it was awful. So he was born, he's 14 now. And so I think I really got more into it when he was probably 1 or 2. So it has taken me a good 12, 13 years. And I think the last 5 years has probably been the most growth. I think after Eli's mom died, it just something in that really opened me up, as death does. And I think after that, for whatever I just think that whole experience of walking through that just brought everything up to surface, and just, I had to walk through all of those pieces. And after that, I really started to dig into my work even more and create even more and set boundaries. And then my dad got sick, and like, there's just been the last 5 years, there's been a lot of growth.
So back in the day when I met you, you were a salesperson for like radio.
Yep.
And I don't think this was even in your radar that there was an opportunity to create a career doing psychic mediumship. Like, what the hell is that?
No, I was told in radio, if I ever did anything else, I'd never make as much money. I would never have as much freedom. I would never find, the job. Like, oh my God, it was just so toxic.
Yeah.
So toxic. And I loved the job. I loved being in radio sales, but it was so toxic. And then I went into recruiting.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Yep. So I went into recruiting, and people kept talking to me about finding something they were passionate about. And I'm like, what are you guys talking about? Just go to work. Like, you just got to work and get your money so you can pay your bills. Cause that's what I grew up in. You work, doesn't matter if you like your job, you work and you pay your bills. And so that was just my mindset. And now everyone kept talking about passion. And I'm like, what are you guys talking about? And then I met Lori, who was Wes's wife, and she does Core Passion, which is not porn. Don't tell her I said that. And she was a kind of a life coach kind of person, and I worked her program and different things like that. So it's been like so many baby steps to get me to this place, and so many different teachers, good and bad.
So Chris wants to know, what was your first psychic experience you remember? What was it like? What were the conditions that helped it show up?
Well, I have a couple early life ones. One of them, I was driving back from Bismarck with my mom, and it was dark out, and she was driving, and I was awake, and I looked on the road, and I saw this green person run across the road, and I was like I just got up in the car. I'm like, Mom, did you see that? Because I thought she was gonna run this person over, and she's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, didn't you just see that green person run across the road? And she's like, just go to sleep. We were just sleeping, because I was probably maybe 10 or 11. And then the first major one that I really remember as a kid, and it was the only two that I had, when my dad's grandma died, or my dad's mom died, my grandma, the night she died, she came to me in my dreams, and she sat down on my bed, and she said, I just have to tell you it's time to go. And I love you so much, but I have to go. And I was like, okay. And I remember saying, okay. And she got up and she left, and my eyes popped open, and my dad was sitting in the very same spot that she was in.
Oh, wow.
And he said, I have to tell you something. And I said, oh, I know, Grandma died. And his face was like, how do you know that? And I was like, oh, she told me. She came in my dreams and told me. And I'll never forget it. He just stood up and walked out of my room. His mom just died. He didn't know what to think about that.
How old were you?
I think I was 13, maybe. I think I was 13 when she passed away. And it was and then when I saw her body at her funeral, it just put me in a spin. And my cousin, years, when Eli's mom was dying, years later, we happened to see each other. We hadn't seen each other for 10 years. And she goes, I remember that. She said, I remember asking my dad, who was a psychiatrist, if you were going to be okay. And he said, she's probably going to be more okay than any of us. And he said, she feels Grandma. And then she saw her body, and she couldn't, I couldn't reconcile that in my child brain, and no one could explain it to me. You know what I mean? And I was like, what? I said that? And she goes, I remember it plain as day that you said that. And I was like, oh, fascinating. Wow. I think one of the first, as an adult, one of the first psychic things was, I could speak to Keaton when he was in me, and then I could speak to him after he was born. I could check in with him, and I just thought, oh, this is the coolest thing. And I would never tell anyone because I didn't want him to think I was crazy. And I was like, that's so cool. So it was more of a love connection that got me into that ability to be able to check in with them. I think that was probably one of my first things that I could do that didn't seem normal.
Yeah, and you didn't know how to talk about it because there wasn't any context for it.
No.
So we'll come back to that, Chris, if you want to know more about that. I'm going to ask Jodie to tell us some more about that. But this is a really interesting question from Andrea. She said, do you see just positive insights or negative insights that frighten you about people?
Ooh, what a good question. So I think when I first started, because my energy was very fearful, like I was a very fear-based person. And I grew up that way. We were always like, be careful. And, this is the worst is going to happen. And it usually did. And it was just always crisis to crisis to crisis. And so I was really fear-based. Because my energy was fear-based, I would meet a lot of people that were a little bit lower energy as well. And like my husband pointed this out to me when we first started dating. If I met someone that I didn't like, I would literally just turn my back. And he said, you're so rude. And I was like, what are you talking about? Because we were out at the restaurant one night. And he said, if you don't like someone, you literally turn your back on them. And I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't know I did that. If I meet somebody that I just know feels dangerous, or maybe they feel, I don't want to say dark because that's not how it feels, but like heavy. My spirit just says, it's just a plain no. It's just a no. And I do think there's scary people out there. And I think there's amazing people out there. So I think I pick up on it, but I don't attract it like I used to. Does that make sense? Because it's the law of attraction. So as I cleaned up myself, I don't have that come to me very often at all.
That's interesting. As I cleaned up myself. So that's a good reminder for all of us to work on self first. I want to just point out that Miranda said, when you were talking about seeing your grandma, she said, oh my God, that happened to me with my dad. And she said, and my grandmother did the same before she passed.
Yeah. Well, this morning I was telling Jodie, I had a client pass away this morning, and you can tell my growth because I'm not in tears about it. But this morning I woke up at 6, and all night I had kept grabbing my phone to look at my phone. So I think I knew she was going soon. So I just kept checking the phone. And it took me hours to remember this, but about 6 o'clock I woke up and I kind of closed my eyes and I was just thinking about her. And I saw her kind of like near the Rainbow Bridge, which is something I teach in my meditation classes. And I grabbed her hand and I said, it's time to go. Let's go. And I walked her up and we got closer to the light, and she goes, well, come on, you should come with me. And she was just laughing because she would do that. And I was like, no, I got to watch your daughter. I got to stay here. And then I said, go with Scott, which is her husband who passed. And it literally took me about 5 hours to remember that I had that experience. And when she died this morning, I had gotten back to sleep after that. And I was so pissed because I didn't feel it. I was like, oh, I should have felt something. I should have felt that. And I didn't. And then I was like, oh, but I felt beforehand. Like I felt that other side. So there's lots of different things that can happen to people as loved ones. I knew a cousin or a nephew had passed. I felt like I was dying. Like I felt like I was dying. I was like, what is this? And then about 4 o'clock that afternoon, we found out one of our nephews has had an overdose. And I'm like, oh, Eli, that's what I was feeling. That's why I was so sick all day long. And he's like, yeah, you were sick. As soon as you found out, like you were better. And so there are really strange things that can happen around when people are passing away, for sure. And often in dreams. Dreams are, if they're happy, positive, loving, soft, sometimes quick, those are visitations. The scary stuff that sometimes people get, nightmares, that's just your subconscious trying to unwind some energy from you.
Oh, that's good to know.
Yeah, they're like, oh my God, my so-and-so is stuck. And I'm like, they're not stuck. That's your fears coming out kind of as nightmares. Visitations are high-end, loving, super real, super just like, oh, you could just feel them right there. And then oftentimes you're crying afterwards because you can feel them leave again. But yeah, visitations aren't scary.
Oh,
just let me slip that in there.
That's good. So that's good for Andrea and Kara both asked about that. Wondered if there are negative experiences.
Yep.
So I love that you said that. What I'm looking at any of the other comments. I'm not missing any comments. Chris, I'm interested in your questions. So don't be shy, Chris, just because I know
bring whatever. I'm open. I love answering questions.
This is really new to him. And so it's really
Did someone ask about negative energies?
Yeah.
Okay,
I wonder if there are negative.
That for a minute, if that's cool.
Yeah.
Okay. I often wonder if there are negative experiences. So again, I think a lot of that is based off of where your vibration is. I met one guy one time when I first started. So I clear houses.
So wait. You got to say what that is.
Let me tell you what that is. Yeah. So if people think their house is haunted, they'll call me. If they feel like they're not at home alone, they'll call me. Or a picture falls off the wall and then the next day, their lights are flashing. I work with the energy that's in the spaces. And I've done that for years. It was the most natural part of my work that I've ever done. Like I just walked into class. I'm like, I know how to do this. And it's one of my passions. I love to clear spaces. And oftentimes, 99% of the time, it's not a haunted house. It's usually maybe a loved one trying to get a hold of you, or your spirit's trying to talk to you in some way. The house might have some energy, like my friend who passed away. I'll talk to her daughter in a couple weeks and say, we got to clear your house because someone passed away in the house. There's a lot of trauma. There's a lot of grief. If people have cancer and things like that, it's great to clear the energy. So when I say clear a house, there's a big gamut of stuff that I do. One time I had a gentleman call me and he was creepy. And I went in and I remember I talked to Wes because Wes was kind of my teacher at that time. And I was like, I swear this dude is like possessed. Like, does that happen? And he said, well, I want you to go have the experience first and then let's talk about it. So I went in and I cleared this dude's house and I watched his energy be really, this just really creepy, dark, just really scary kind of energy. And I watched it leave and all this kind of stuff. And then at the end, he had already paid me and everything. And I walked out and I remember turning back towards the door and I waved at him. And he just let it all right back in. And wow. I was like, what the fuck is that? What happened? And I remember calling my teacher and I was like, this is not what I'm not doing this. Like whatever that was, I'm not doing that. And what I found out, and this is what's really important, is I found out that he had worked with almost every energy worker that I had known as far as house clear and people that do clearing work and stuff like that in like 3 states around. Like he was like the teacher. And he was there to teach us how to handle that energy. And I was like, that's the most, what? Like, does that happen? Wow. And so what I've learned, and I like this, I think this makes sense to me. If you have a lot of fear in you, you probably will have some fearful experiences that you're creating energetically. So I went to a retreat one time and I was scared of being alone in houses. I was scared of basements. Was a space clear, did this work, had my business. And in the middle of the night, like I heard rocks being thrown into the kitchen, the lights turned off, the air conditioner shut off, like all this stuff happened. And I was like up and out and I had to run over to my mentor's house at 2:30 in the morning. Wow. And knocking on the door. Her husband's running downstairs in his underwear, mind you. And he's like opening the door. I'm like, your house is haunted. I'm not sleeping there. Oh my God, there's creepy things in there. And I just lost my shit. And it's so mortifying. I cannot even explain how embarrassed I was. And he just goes, Sonny, your girl's here. And Sonny comes down and she's half naked because they live in Arizona. So it's hotter than shit there. She's just looking at me and she's like, well, let's just go check it out. And I remember pushing her away and I was like, no way am I going back in that house. And she's like, oh, yes, we are. And we walked into the house and the lights were on, the air was working, nothing in the kitchen, like all was calm, all was well. And I was like, oh my God, the lights were off and the air conditioning turned on. I was so angry. And what she explained to me, she said, your fear energy created so much energy that you created that experience just from yourself.
Wow.
And I was like, and it just clicked. It just made sense to me. And I said, if I can be that powerful in my fear, what can I do in my light? And it was like such an amazing experience because I created that experience. Like I created all of that energy. And I think a lot of people do that and they just don't know that they're the ones generating it. And then they blame it on an entity or spirit or a ghost or whatever. So yeah, is there creepy stuff? Sure. But you would have to be at such a low vibration to call in something like that. And there's no one in this group that they wouldn't be in your group, Jode.
Right.
You just wouldn't be functioning out in the world.
Yeah.
So I think people need to know that it's a vibrational thing, and very seldom in your whole life will you ever meet someone that you could consider as like negative, bad energy.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's good. That's good to know. So we've got a lot of questions here. Okay. I'm going to start with this one. Miranda says, because when she's stressed, her grandparents or her dad come to her.
Yeah. They come closer. When we get stressed or sad or anxious or whatever, our spirit guides come closer. And when we're doing better, they kind of pull back a little bit.
Okay, good. So Chris wants to know, how do I develop my psychic abilities? How do I make contact with my spirit guides in a more tangible way, like see them or feel them? And Jodie says, take her classes.
Take my class. And if you don't take my classes, take classes. I think there's lots of books. There's lots of people that you can study for mediumship. So it depends if you want psychic ability or if you want more of the mediumship's talking to dead people. Psychic stuff is talking with your guides, reading energy, all those different things. And I would say practice is the best thing. You could start talking to your guides right now. And what I started doing, and I did this and I still do this. So it was like, okay, spirit, you know what? Guides and angels and team, I call my spirit team. I'm like, you guys just show me that you're here today. Just keep doing stuff to show me that you're here and make it big and make it obnoxious so that I don't miss it. Because I tend to miss things. So I'm like, I need it big and I need it obnoxious. And what I started to notice over and over was I would get messages on license plates. I would get messages in numbers like 111, 444, 888, that kind of stuff. Those are angel numbers. I would start getting different like affirmations coming in or just seeing things 2, 3, 4 times. So I would start to just ask for your guides to start working with you every single morning and just say, okay, show me that you're around so you can get used to how they talk to you.
So Chris says, do I have to say it out loud to my spirit guides? Nope.
You can say it in your head. You can say it out loud. You can write it out. I'm usually in my head just going, okay, team, just, show me that you're here today. Sometimes you can ask for specifics. I think when you're first starting out, what's fun to take the specifics out of it, just to see what naturally and organically, like Jodie, you're like such an epitome of a knower. Well, do you have any abilities? I don't know. I know this though. Well, because you're a knower. I'm a feeler, but as I learned to embrace my feelings, then all the other ones came in too. So I can see and I can hear and all that kind of stuff. But I think you need to just start working with your team. You can also just start with your guardian angel, and just say, okay, guardian angel, like tell me your name, and just see if you hear a name. And then ask for validation. That's actually a really kind of fun thing to do. I remember Susie Ekberg told me, well, your main guide is Gabriel. And I was like, well, whatever, anyone can give me a name. And I just thought, you're a crazy lady. I went back to my office and the phone rang and I picked it up and this guy's like, hey, this is Gabriel. I just about hit myself. I was like, what? Who is this? Oh my God, who is this? And he's like, well, this is Gabriel. Who's this? I'm like, this is Jodie. Who's this? And oh my God, I made such a fool of myself. And he was calling for someone else, but that's
so funny. Okay.
Of the name. But I actually have people ask for the name themselves because I think it means we're having the experience and someone just giving you a name.
That's good. Okay, Chris. So there's your couple of
classes though. Okay. When you can work with a group of people, I think that's the best because you can feed off of each other. When you're just alone trying to do it, like you doubt yourself so much.
Yeah, for sure. Kara says, since my mom passed, I've longed to get some sign, and yet can one try or think too hard to prevent getting one of those signs?
Yep. So what people do is they'll be like, okay, mom, give me a sign. Okay, mom, come on, mom, come on. And then you're looking so hard for, is that a sign? Is that a sign? Is that a sign? Is that a sign? And you're not quite that obnoxious, but you're looking for so many signs, and then you're missing the Spirit is really subtle with their signs at first until you kind of start to recognize them. And a lot of people go in saying, oh, I miss my mom so much. I miss her. She's gone. I miss her. And they're concentrating more on the absence of them instead of on the presence. Show me that you're with me, show me that you're here. And so and also depend, I don't know when your mom died, but if it's new, sometimes you're in grief. You're not going to see the signs when you're grieving. I saw a sign from my dad the first day, good vibes only.
Yeah, good.
Which was like so amazing. And then I very seldom get signs from him because he was a quiet guy. And I got 3 shooting stars on my birthday, which was amazing. I was like, holy shit, Dad, you totally did so good. And now I'm like, where are you, Dad? Come on in. So I also think it depends on, his energy normally would be super subtle, but it was just, and people question, was that a sign? I don't know if that's a sign. Nah, that's not a sign. I need it to be this and this. My story I always tell is my friend Angie, she asked for a purple elephant if she should go to my retreat one year. And I said, okay, well, let's see if we see purple elephants. And we started seeing elephants everywhere.
Wow.
And like, no, I actually think it was a blue elephant. And she said, nope, it's not blue. Nope, it's not blue. And then she sent me a picture. I sent her a picture and it was an elephant in front of a person with a blue shirt on. And she's like, nope, it's not a blue elephant. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, look at all the energy that Spirit's trying to bring forward for you and you're still doubting it. Do you know what has to be put together? And then I went to Walmart and there was an entire lane of elephants. And I sent her the picture and she's like, nope, not a blue one.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. So don't be that person.
Okay. Don't be that person, everybody.
Don't do that. Spirit works really hard to get signs to us. So I would just ask your mom, I would get your energy more in your heart space. I would just sit with the energy of your mom, fun memories, happy memories, like just bring her forward and just say, okay, Mom, I need some signs and I need them to be big and obnoxious and send them over and over until I get it. Okay. Try that for a few days and see if it helps you, Kara.
That's good. That's good. So Julie's asking, how do I focus positive energy more so that I can understand what things to focus on next, life or professional focus?
That's a great question. So what I usually do is if something's going good for me, so I usually ask when I'm in a good space. So if I'm pissy and crabby, not the best time to ask because you're pissy and crabby. But if I have like a good day or I can listen to a song and kind of get my vibe up again, I'll just say, okay, Spirit, tell me the next step, just the next step. What most people want to see is this big, huge like map, right? Everyone wants kind of a map. And what I've learned is, because I always wanted the map, is just show me the next step. Maybe it's going to the grocery store. Maybe it's go, fill up your car with gas and you're going to meet someone that you didn't expect to be there. But I would start to actually just ask more on the next step. And I would say, get clear on how you want to feel in that next step.
That's good. That's good, Julie. Somebody says, who I can't remember, I could have used you a few years ago and maybe it was my fear creating the experience I had. So,
oftentimes, almost always, that is the reason those fearful things happen. I got pushed one time by a spirit. I was clearing a restaurant in town, and and I bent down to go do something, and I literally got pushed, and I was like, "What the hell? No, you don't get to do that." And the spirit was so upset because we found out later that her dad had promised he would never sell the land. And he sold the land and then she got in a car accident and died. And so she died angry. So she needed almost like a counseling session so she could kind of go back into the light where she needed to be. But it wasn't malicious. It was, she just needed help, which is if you do have things like that, they just need help.
That's good.
And you want to call someone like me that's been trained to help them.
Right. And that's what Jodie does. So I'm sorry, I'm looking over here to see who this is, but you'll have to help me out. Somebody says, I've had 2 times in my life where I've met someone and knew this person would be so important and connected as if we had known each other forever. It was beyond connection, but every conversation going forward, I feel are the most important in my life. Is this just a common interest or knowing each other in a previous life?
When I read that, my first thought is like, oh, you guys knew each other in past life. I love past life. I do a lot of past life work. It's always been fun for me. I've done past life clearings for people for ages because I love it, and I teach classes on it and things like that. To me, that specific thing that you just talked about, that feels like a past life connection. Oftentimes they're like beautiful connections, and sometimes you can meet someone and you're like, I don't like her. I don't even know why I don't like her. But I don't like her, and that can be past life too. To meet people, I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty sure I killed you. Sorry, man. Me and Wes, I'm pretty sure we killed you. Sorry.
That's funny.
Because I think every lifetime is a bigger evolution for us. And I think we've all been the villain. I think we've all been the victim. I think every lifetime people expand themselves. And so it helps in that judgment piece when you're watching things out in the world right now and you're like, what the hell is wrong with these people? They just have not evolved into a higher vibration yet.
Right. So yeah, past lives are fun. We've done, I don't know if you were there, but we had some person named Catherine.
Oh yeah, Catherine. And then do you remember the one that Shanda and I think it was Sherry did for us when we were all Troy's wives?
Yes.
There was like 7 of us. We have a friend named Troy Parkinson, and we were like all of Troy's wives from another life. There was like 7 of us. We were like, I was married to Troy. I was married to Troy. Actually, Troy and I had a past life in a class. I was being burned at the stake, and Keaton, my youngest, was mine and Troy's child. And as soon as he met Keaton, he scooped him up and he got really teary-eyed, and he's like, I don't know, I just love this kid. And in that class, he goes, oh, I understand my connection with Keaton now. And he goes, and that's why it was so hard for you to bring him into the world, because you had all this fear around bringing this child back into the world, because in the last lifetime, he watched me die.
Oh boy. Wow.
And I was like, oh, and that was my first experience with the past life, was with Troy Parkinson.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I've heard it said there's only 1,000 souls, or there are 1,000 souls that you're going to interact with throughout the course of your life, and they're the same ones over and over again. Is that true at all?
I have no idea. I don't know. I think a lot of us do keep traveling with each other through lifetimes. Like I've met people, I'm like, oh, hey, I know you. And they're like, yeah, I know you. Like, and we know each other. I have no idea on the 1,000 thing. I have no idea. I do think we travel with similar people. Like first time Darcy met me, Darcy Simonson, she's like, oh, I know you. You're in my soul circle. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about, but can I just sit by you? Because you're so sweet.
It does feel like that, though. I mean, think if you think back on your own life, and like you said, Jodie, sometimes you walk into a room and you're like, oh, this feels good, or I'm really attracted to this, or not.
Yeah.
So Miranda says, oh my God, wow is all I can say about this. It makes so much sense. It's helping me. It's just crazy. I love this. So Miranda, you might want to connect with Jodie.
Yeah, for sure. Sign up on my website and get on my newsletter and all that good stuff.
We'll give you all that info as we go.
Yeah.
So I think this is Christy saying, I think if you look too hard, it will be missed. So
it is. If you and you're in your head, if you're in your head looking for it, it's easier to miss it. And I think it's practice, you guys. I don't think signs. I don't think we're taught to look at the subtleties of our day. You know, we're looked to what's next, and we miss. So Spirit is giving you signs 1 million out every day, and we just don't know to look for them that way because we're not taught that.
So here's a funny one. I think this is Linda. She's saying, when my mother passed, my aunt and uncle left the hospital, turned on the radio in the car, and the song playing was "You're Gonna Miss Me When I'm Gone."
I bet they had a good sense of humor. That's awesome. And oftentimes they have a good sense of humor as soon as they cross over. And we don't, but that's why a lot of times people have like that inappropriate laughter at funerals and stuff when you're supposed to be all serious and everyone just getting the giggles, because Spirit likes to have fun. And to them, death isn't a bad thing. Death is like a rebirth. And so there's a lot of retraining. I'm retraining myself in that space as well, but that's hilarious. That's
awesome. Good. That's a really good one. So how do you clear the energy when you get overwhelmed, Jodie?
I have a lot of tools because I needed a lot of tools. I was really anxious. I used to have panic attacks. I don't anymore. I will get full. I call it getting full instead of overwhelmed. I call it I'm getting full. I think journaling and burning is a huge piece for me. Writing. I actually have a coach, and one of my things that I do with her is every day I write her kind of an overview of my day. I'm not really writing to her, but I needed to train myself to do it for myself. And so by sending it to her, it gave me accountability. I think taking a bath is a huge piece for me, or taking a shower. Getting outside is huge. If it's okay, I'll take you through a really quick exercise.
Sure.
It's super helpful because the collective energy in the world is always there. So if you guys can just think about there being kind of a cloud of energy above us, right? So everyone close your eyes just for a second. I'll make this really quick. And just imagine that cloud above us. And lately it's been kind of a storm cloud, right? Because there's just a lot of shit going up in the world. And it also feels a little foggy kind of down and around you. That's why so many sensitive people are feeling so much energy overwhelm and they don't even know what they're feeling. And so we always have that collective energy. It changes and it moves, and sometimes it's lighter, sometimes it's darker. But what I'm going to have you do is take your energy up to the top of that cloud and go stand on top of it. And see if you can notice, you can breathe better up there. You can observe what's happening in the collective energy, but you're not in it. So taking myself above that chaos energy is one of my favorite things to do. And just stay up there and then open your eyes. Don't go back down. Just stay up there and open your eyes and see how that feels.
Oh, it makes me do this with my shoulders.
Yeah. Because you don't have it on you. Yeah. But simple things like breathing. I was stopped by my chiropractor. He's like, you can't panic and breathe at the same time.
Right.
So, and I was like, oh, and he goes, now smile at me. And I was like, I'm not going to smile at you. I was like, full on panic attack. He goes, just do it. Just trust me. And so I like smiled at him. And he's like, you can't smile and panic either. Wow. And I was like, ooh, that's good. So I smile and I usually put myself in a state of service of some way. I'll reach out to a friend or I'll do something on Facebook. I think right now it's imperative that people learn how to manage the overwhelm in life. And I think the energy piece is a huge piece. I really do. I think it's a huge piece for people to learn because they know about emotions, they know about mindset, they know about their physical body, but they're not paying attention to the energy. And that's a piece that can make a huge difference for people.
Well, and I think that this person is saying, this is new to me. I think I feel way more than I should. It's exhausting.
You probably feel more than you realize, and it is exhausting. And so another quick thing people can do is I invoke Archangel Michael. He's a big, huge blue angel. Whether you believe in angels or not, this could work for you. And I just imagine him putting me in a big blue bubble. But the trick is I also imagine me breathing in his energy. So I actually have to take it in because I used to be a really good giver, but I sucked at receiving. And so learning how to bring that energy in helps me maintain my energy so you all stay there and I don't take you to bed with me tonight, because that's what I would do. I would just take everyone home with me. And being I always call it witness protection. So I'm going to witness all of you, but I'm going to protect my energy.
That's good. That's
right.
Good.
And I like maintenance better. I like maintaining my energy because I don't want to feel like I'm protecting myself. It just doesn't come off my tongue so easy. So like I'm going to witness and then I'm going to protect my energy.
That's good. I like
witness protection, my friend.
Witness protection. That's good. So I think this is Chelsea says I need to do past life experience. So maybe we need to do an event, Jody.
I know that would be super fun. They're so fun.
Okay, we'll do that. So Christy, I think this is you. I'm making up these names, you guys. I can't tell, but are the travelers the old souls?
Are the travelers the old souls? I don't know what you mean by travelers. Tell me more about that.
Okay, so pop in and tell us more about that.
Pop in and tell me what you mean by travelers.
Okay.
There's definitely old souls and new souls. New souls usually think they're old souls. It's very funny. And you can really, when you meet someone and you look in their eyes, you can tell the wisdom in there. And they're usually annoyed because they're waiting for everyone to catch up with them.
It's good. Andrea's saying, is it wiser to keep our circle tight and small or be open to meeting people more often?
Oh, good question. I think that depends where you are in your life. I have a small sacred circle at this point in my life because of the work that I do. I have so much energy going out right now. I want really healthy people around me. So my circle, not that I couldn't have a bigger circle, but mine's pretty small and tight now. And this year I'm feeling that expansive energy coming in because I think I can maintain my energy better. So when I couldn't maintain my energy, like I don't do a lot of social media. I'm not in a lot of groups. I don't do a lot of that kind of stuff because I couldn't manage my energy and do my work at the same time. Now, over the last couple of years, I've really strengthened that. Now I'm feeling like I can expand myself a bit more. So I think it depends where your energy is. And my dad was really sick last year, so I didn't have a lot of bandwidth for a lot of people. And so it was even smaller last year just because of where I was and what I had to take care of and deal with and all the stuff. So I think it really does depend on where your body, mind, spirit, and emotional health is.
Okay. That's good. Christy is, Christy's saying that she means the people who have traveled, the ones that have had the past life experiences is what she means by travelers.
I think we've all had past life experiences in some way, shape, or form. Do you mean traveled like around the world? Is that what she means?
She says, they have traveled. I mean, the ones that have had the past life experiences. So she said, people who have had past life experiences, I'm going to go back and look at this.
Read
it. Travelers, old souls.
So, are they old souls? I think that varies. I think there can be very, very old souls that have traveled through many, 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 many lifetimes. And I've met people where they maybe have only had a few past lives. So I think that varies depending on the person. Just depending on the person. Yeah. I don't think there's any specific rules on that I know of. But it's fun to meet an old soul in a baby body, when they're first born and you're like, oh, you're going to hate being a kid. I hate it. You'll be so much happier when you're like 21 and can get out in the world.
Right. So Chelsea says, OMG, I love that. I've been energy overwhelmed for 10 months.
Yep. It's been, even those of us that work our energy a lot, that collective energy has been very difficult for us to navigate this last year. And it will continue for a while. So put yourself above it. Use the energy and bring yourself above it.
Yeah. And I think it was also Chelsea who said, I'm just going to stay up here.
Yeah, do. You should just live there. Like that's what we all try to do. Like, and you can tell when you start to kind of sink through it, it's like, I'm coming back up here. Yeah. Yep.
This is good, Jodes. This is really good stuff. I'm going to stay up here. Thank you.
Yep. Please do. I'll be there with you.
So talk about some of your programs that you have going on, Jodie, and some of the things, the coaching and the events that you have and what. Sure.
So a couple of the things. So I'm starting the year slow because I was guided to. So one of the things I do every month is on the full moon. I do a full moon group clearing. And so those are really cool. If you want to dip your toe in, that's a great place to do it. So it's like a meditation, and I'm teaching you how to clear your energy. And a lot of times we use fire in it, and I take you through a visualization and different things like that. But that I do every month right around the full moon, within a day or two of the full moon. Super inexpensive. That's great for new people. That's something that I'm going to be doing every single month this year. And then I do private mentoring. So if people, and that varies, like sometimes I'm working with people that want to do this and they want to work on their intuition. They want to work on their mediumship. Some people just like more one-on-one work. Sometimes it's coaching them on how they go out in the world and do this work, and they want to have a business. So I have a little bit of that as well, or they want to learn how to clear spaces. And so I work one-on-one with those pieces. I teach a ton of classes. Right now I'm putting together a whole program called Spirit School. And that one I think it's going to launch. I don't know. I don't know yet. Like February, March. And that's going to be a little bit of a self-study, but I'm still going to be involved in it on how to develop your intuition. And I've been working on that for a long time. Ricka Brandon actually gave me that idea, Jodie.
Nice.
Our friend Rick.
Yes.
And so I've been developing that over the last couple of years. So that's one of my focuses this year. And then I do retreats. I always do a fall retreat. And when we can travel, I take people to Sedona, Arizona, which I think is a super magical place. I didn't do it last year, but my first group went the year before, and it was so much fun. So I want to do more of those kinds of things. And then I do private readings, and I do group parties, and I do all sorts of that kind of stuff too. So I do almost everything I do weddings. I can marry people, which is great. So yeah, I got ordained, and I've done like 5 weddings so far. I know, it's so fun. I don't do that a lot because I like my summer weekends, honestly. But I can do it. So it's kind of one of those fun, I can do that too.
So Christy says she wants to learn more about herself. She said, I want to learn more about me. And she said, I need to contact you. So Jodie's got her name right there. Jodie, here, I'll put it in the banner too. And
I have a group mentoring, private group mentoring starting at the end of January, where I have just a small group of people, usually women, honestly. Not that I can't work with men, but my groups typically are women, and we work on the self-growth work and that kind of stuff. So that might be something you want to take a look at.
So just go to her website, Christy, and you and I can talk. Christy lives in Florida, and she and I talk quite a bit. So if you
can connect you with me.
Yeah. Also, I love this question, Miranda. She said, how does the movie Soul kind of show us a little bit how spirits work? Have you seen the movie?
I haven't watched it yet. I know we were going to watch it like 3 different times. So I haven't watched it yet. So I don't know, but I have heard from all of my friends that they're like, oh my God, this is the best movie.
It's so good.
So it must teach something about how it works for sure. I haven't seen it yet. I'm so sorry, Miranda.
You'll have to.
But I've heard yes. I would say yes to that. And even when I've seen little bits, I'm like, oh, that's going to be a good movie.
It's a really good one. Andrea says she lives on Long Island in New York. And she said there are so many, Long Island medium. She lives there, Andrea. She said there are so many mediums, and it seems to be more common in certain nationalities.
I think that too. I know and different parts of the country seem to have more too. Like I travel a lot to Arizona because I have friends there now. There's a ton of psychic mediums there. I think it's becoming more and more popular, which I'm glad for. Honestly, I think there's enough business for everyone. I think the world in the next couple of years, people are going to really need to learn their intuition. Mm-hmm. You're going to have to know how to base your decisions on what feels good to you versus what's out there in the world, right? Mm-hmm. To me, I think this is going to get more and more popular over the years. So I'm like, yay, glad I've been training for 10 years.
Exactly. So are you in the she shed in the winter?
I am. I'm in there right now.
Are you really? So Jodie had a she shed in her backyard, and it's so nice.
Yep. So I did an outside office, and then I used to see people in my house, and my kids would pick up on the energy, and I would notice behaviors that were like my clients' behaviors, and I was like, oh no. And that's kind of a funny story too, because I was sitting at home on Facebook one day, and I was like, oh my God, look at this she shed. Wonder how I can get Eli to make me a she shed. I totally said those words. I wonder how I can get Eli to make me a she shed. And he was working nights at the time. And he came busting in the door. He goes, honey, I know what we need to do for you today. And I was like, what? He goes, I got to build you a she shed.
Oh my gosh.
And I was like, shut up. Are you kidding? And I started to laugh. And he goes, don't you like that idea? I'm like, no, I was just trying to figure out how to make you do that for me. And so over that winter, he built it. And I tell everyone, like, this is the best thing he's ever done for me. Better than anything he's ever done was giving me my own space back here.
And he did a great job. It's beautiful.
And it's so cute. It's kind of worn in now. We have some upgrades we need to do, but it's so great to have my own little spot. Every woman should have a she shed.
Right. So Chelsea has a good question. I like this question. Do you ever meet anyone and don't feel anything spiritually, like no one coming through? And what does that mean to you?
Great question. So for me, when that happens, let's say let's say Ariana, the woman, her mom died this morning, and she's like, do you feel my mom? Do you have any messages, anything coming through? And right now, all I feel from her is peace. I just feel she's at peace. I feel like there's no messages right now. Like everything was said that needed to be said. When a spirit's coming through, often it's because you, the client, has unfinished business, is feeling guilty, has, some kind of something that you're holding on to. That's usually when they come through with a message. If you're just like, my mother-in-law's passed away, Christy's passed away, I have several people on the other side. I can feel them around me, but they're not talking to me because I'm okay. Like I don't need any messages at this time. So it usually doesn't mean anything except they're here. There's just nothing to bring forward right now. So it doesn't mean like they're not there. It doesn't mean that they're stuck somewhere. It just means like there's just no message right now. And sometimes I just don't connect to them. Like maybe I'm just not the right medium. I'm trying to remember if I think that's happened maybe once or twice where I'm like, yeah, I am not the right girl for you, and I'm always super open with people about that. Cause I mean, that's what you should do. And it doesn't happen all that often. Cause I think spirit really, I think spirit brings whoever needs to be with you to you. I think that's a big whole thing that happens. That's a great question. Cause it does happen.
So Christy's asking, is there a way to shield your energy? I've noticed that other people's moods can be affected by that. She says other people's moods.
Yeah, I think when I talk about being the witness, like if you even just in your head right now, just say, okay, I'm going to be the witness, you can actually feel an energy field coming up in front of you. Some people feel it, some people won't. And calling an Archangel Michael or bubbling yourself up or wearing a stone that makes you feel safe, any of that kind of stuff. That helps you manage your energy. It's up to you to manage your energy. And there's lots of tips and tools and tricks on how to do that piece. And there's lots of things on how to manage other people's energy so you're not taking it on. And that takes some practice and it takes some education and it just takes some knowledge on how to do that. But I would start by saying, okay, what do I need to do to kind of wrap myself up in, whether it's prayer that you do, whether it's spirit, whether it's angels, whether it's God, like whatever your belief is, like start to bubble yourself up in something and then let people be where they are. And then you just stay where you are. That's and then good. Take yourself up above that cloud.
That's good. That's good. So you guys, we've done great. We've got a lot of questions in the hour we've been together, Jodes. I would love you guys to connect with Jodie and just jodieharvala.com. You can see it right here on her picture. And she is here for you. And somebody says, I use the protective bubble. It's really helpful.
And the thing with that, you have to be consistent. You got to do it every day, you guys. If you're not consistent, it's not going to work for you.
Be consistent.
Yep.
And this is also Glodine, my friend Glodine from California. She says, I use a pendulum. Oh, whoops. Where did it go? I use a pendulum to check my energy to maintain my sanity.
Yep. And you can emotionally control that, just so you know. So be aware of that. If you're using tools and tricks like that, like pendulums or dowsing rods or whatever, you can control that. It's based off of your vibration. You guys can also join me in my free group. I have Intuition Playground group, which is my free Facebook group. So you guys can always come over there. And I do, I try to come in there a couple times a week and teach a little something or talk about something. And it's a really nice community as well.
Glodine's like, how? I need to find that. So she said, I'll get to that, Jodie. She said, I know yesterday knocked me on my ass because I hadn't been doing the bubble regularly. Yesterday was a tough day in the world.
Yesterday was a tough day in the world. It really was. And I keep telling people, like, this is what I tell people that know me for a while. I'm like, remember when I first started self-growth work and what a mess I was? Like, I just was. And most people, when they first start looking, you're just a mess. And it's just not, it's not a good time. And we're going through a global self-growth space right now. And so it's ugly and it just is. And things are breaking down so that there can be a breakthrough. And there will be a breakthrough, but it's going to take some time. And so if you guys can stay in your own light and be in spaces that are safe spaces where you can have conversations, like Jodie's been amazing with her conversations that she has every day. That's a safe space. I can always jump on and be like, okay, that's positive. And really surround yourself in that space and turn off all the rest. Like, for real, you'll find out what you need to know, but maintain your energy in this. And coming up, even just as we walk through the rest of all of this, you got to learn how to maintain your vibration and your energy.
For sure. So Jodie, is this it? Intuition Playground Facebook group?
Intuition Playground. Yep. So
look that up, Glodine. You need to get there. Christy says, I felt like a wimp yesterday. No.
Nope. I don't care how strong you were. Yesterday was a tough day in the world and in our country. And I think there's an inner strength that's going to come out of humanity that people are starting to realize, oh, wait a second, I have a lot of power and I have a lot of strength and I'm going to stay there instead.
Right.
So yeah, don't do that to yourself, darling.
Jessica says, so happy I caught this interview. Both of you are amazing. Great contribution to the world right now. It's the Jodie Show.
It's a Jodie Show. Have fun.
So this comes from Glodine, my friend in California, who, by the way, has a novel coming out. Glodine.
Nice.
How soon? Is it February now? I'm just going to push her a little bit.
Yeah, please do. I think that's great.
So she says, let's connect. Glodine wants to connect with you. And Christy and Glodine want to connect. Okay, you guys, here we go. This is why the Get Real Circle exists, right? Because it's all about this connection, you guys.
And we need community and connection.
Sure.
We need it. Even if it's online, doesn't matter, you guys.
It doesn't matter.
And you've got to connect with good people.
Yes. And you'll know, right? I mean, that's one of the messages from tonight. You will know if you let yourself know. Yep. Don't try to force stuff. You don't need to force stuff because pushing and making is what we learned, Jodie, in Course in Miracles, right? And there's an allowing that when we can get into that space of allowing. And you can ask, like I love that you said, make it so obvious I can't miss it. Mm-hmm. You can ask, but then allow it to come to you.
And sometimes it takes a while. Like that's usually I start out the year super like, okay, we're going to do this, this, and this. And this year I'm like, so what are we doing? Mm-hmm. What's happening, Spirit? Like, what are we going to do? And it's like, not yet. You just sit where you need to be. And what was interesting is normally I would have something going and I've been able to spend time with my friend's daughter all week. Like hours with her texting back and forth because she's out of town. And I was like, man, if I would have had full plate right now, I would feel so awful not being able to help this girl through this stuff. And so sometimes if you don't have the stuff coming at you, it's because something else is coming at you. Mm-hmm. So just be open to it.
So Christy, I'm going to challenge you to get together with Jodie because Christy's like, it's so amazing. I'm not alone or different or weird.
Oh no, come to me. We love the weird and the different. I have one lady, I'm like, you know, you're weird, right? And she's like, God, I am. I'm like, yeah, come to my world.
So there you go. Crystal says, when is the start of the next Course in Miracles? I don't know that I've set anything up, Crystal, but let's talk about that. And so, Jodie, have you done that since then?
I haven't because I did not understand the book.
So here's the
which I know is so funny, but you know what's super funny is like 2 years ago I found it in my library and I started to read it and I was like, oh, I get it. Yeah. Oh, I get it now. Like I understood more of it. But I was gonna say if you do that again, you might want to adopt the miracles every week and have everyone go around and share their miracles. Right. It changed my life, and I'm not kidding.
Well, I'm Crystal, I'm reading this one now. I'm studying A Course of Love.
Ooh, that's fun.
Which is like A Course in Miracles.
I love how wore out it is.
I know, don't you? This is my book. You know me.
I love that.
Look at this. I could just page through it and show you how it's written in and underlined. But this, for me, Crystal, we can talk about that because it's a great study. And to your point, Jodie, it's not even what you study in your head. It's what you allow to come.
Experience. Yeah, I've watched everyone from that group completely change their life. Oh. Everyone's completely changed their life. Everyone. And I still can reach out to any one of them 10 years later. And even that we haven't talked, it's like, oh my God, how are you? Like, it's just a connection.
That was a big year. I mean, that was a transformation.
Everyone. Yeah, just everyone. And so those kinds of things are important over the next couple of years for people.
And let's just say this year then. Let's just say 2021, everybody here's who's listening live or later. What are you willing to take on in 2021 that's going to allow you to step into that place that is more of you?
Yeah.
And
if you don't know who you are, do some of the stuff, whether it's with Jodie or me or masterminds or these classes, get to know who you are. I had no idea who I was. I just knew I was pissed off, and I knew I was sensitive and I knew I didn't understand what I was meant to do and purpose and all that kind of stuff. Get to know what works for you and what doesn't work for you.
Well, my next course that's coming up is called the Get Real Me Intensive. Oh. And the first session of that course, which is going to be on January 18th, the maximum of that course is you need to meet you. There's a picture of a person standing in front of a mirror. And so if you're interested in that course too, I haven't told you all very much about it, but it's been a really fun course. It's 6 weeks. And you will know more, you guys who are in the Get Real Circle. Just pay more attention to that because it's out there. But Jodie, thank you. You are such a gift in my life, and I am so grateful for you. And I need to get back to the she shed.
Yes, you do.
I know.
Yes, you do.
So everybody, please reach out to Jodie. You'll see her website right there, jodieharvala.com. And it's I'm going to put it back up there for just a second, the Intuition Playground.
Intuition Playground group. And that's a free group.
Free group.
Free group, and I pop in there quite often, and I plan on being in there more this year, and really creating more of a consistency. All you guys that are so consistent, you guys have inspired me to have a little bit more consistency.
Good. That's good. So Miranda, just as a closing, says, "Oh wow, this hitting home and trying not to cry, so the kids and husband don't ask."
Yeah, I get that. When you finally find someone that you're like, oh my God, you actually understand me, it can change your life, because not only do you get to know who you are, now you can teach your kids on who they are. You know, I have boys, and growing up, they're not really into my work. They kind of sort of know what I do, but kind of sort of don't. But they're really independent kids, and they used to be Velcro. And now I'm seeing them in their life, and Foster will say things like, yeah, I don't know, it just doesn't feel right. And I'm like, yes. Yeah. I love that you listen to that piece.
Miranda has boys too, and her boys are, I don't know, Miranda, what, 4 and 7? Yeah, something like that. They're little.
It's more fun.
Yeah,
teenage boys are awesome.
So there you go. Miranda, please connect with Jodie as well. And I think this is going to be helpful for you. I know Miranda very well, and she's so do I have boys. So let's do this, you guys. Let's do this. No more excuses, no more waiting. This is the year of us, you being you, and everybody stepping into their power and their greatness.
And thanks for holding the space for this kind of a group, Jode.
Yeah, well, for sure. Thanks for being in it. So thanks everybody for being here. Thank you. See you again. Bye.